How do you help people kind of walk through that in finding the balance between that authenticity and that responsibility towards driving goals or outcomes?
Well, something I said a while back, at least about 10 years ago, this term authenticity came really popular. And what I reminded people is that you cannot allow authenticity to trump your integrity. Being in a conversation and being authentic does not mean being disrespectful. It doesn't give
Yeah.
you a pass to say something hurtful to an audience in a meeting or to someone one on one. Leaning in, though, can require you to say something that is difficult to say to someone or a group of people. But when you enter into that conversation, it's important to enter it with care and compassion. And I had a very dear friend who's no longer present anymore. Her name was Sharon Piper Diggs. And she taught me that you can teach anyone or speak to anyone with a smile. And if you can really ground in that smile, even when you're saying some of the more difficult things or being even more significantly authentic, perhaps, than others might think that they can be, the receiving end of that authenticity is much more accepted when you're smiling and you're able to create a space of support. That's the first thing. The other thing I remind people of is being really grounded in your values and getting really a piece of paper. On my phone, I keep my top values. That's an example, and keep them close to yourself so that in those situations where you are feeling divided, you can go back to your values and that will hold you or ground you in how you should move forward. Strongly encourage people to use those values as if they are a shirt that they're going to put on and wear them all the time. The final thing is remembering that when you do make that decision, most of the decisions, the outcomes, we're uncertain about. Like most life decisions, we are uncertain about them. And I often say that we sleep, we eat, we go to meetings, and we exercise. And in all four of those activities, for example, there's uncertainty. When I go to sleep, I don't know if I'm going to wake up, or I don't even know if I'm going to have a good night's rest. When I eat, I don't know if the food's going to be good for me or not so good for me. When I exercise, I don't know if I'm going to hurt myself or not. And when I'm in a meeting, I don't know if I'm going to say something that people are going to receive or not. These are examples of basic things that we do every single day. We step into those activities without sometimes even thinking about it. We're autopilot about it. And so if we can remind ourselves of the times at which we have done things where we didn't have all the answers, then it's much more easier, not completely easy, but it's much more easier to step into something else that we're unfamiliar with and get uncomfortable because we've been there before.